Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm back with another recap of Tyler Perry's Zatima episode, season 2, episode 17, Energy Shift. So, let's get into it. So, as y'all know, Connie shows up at Zach's house and tells him it's about his mother. She's in the hospital, so they head to the hospital. So, meanwhile, they're at the hospital now, and he talks to the doctor, the same doctor that talked to him about the last time she was there. Tells him that she overdosed on fentanyl. So Connie, Zach, and Jeremiah are in the waiting room, and basically Zach asks Jeremiah what happened, and Jeremiah basically said it's Zach's fault because if Zach would never gave her the $500, she probably would never OD'd on the drug fentanyl. And then Zach is like, but I'm not there, and you're supposed to be the one watching her. And excuse me, Jeremiah was like, I'm not her babysitter. So next thing you know, Zach tussles him down to the floor and start punching him, giving him all these blows. Next thing you know, Connie tries to break it up between them, but then one of the nurses come in and was like, yeah, I can't be doing with that, hold on. But Connie, she couldn't take it. Eventually, she was like, yeah, I can't be doing this. Y'all in the waiting room. Like, y'all, all these white people in here scared and looking at y'all and stuff like that. So eventually, she sits in between the both of them. Jeremiah on one side, Zach on the other side. And basically, Jeremiah is blaming Zach for everything that's happened. And Zach was like, what? I can't do that. Like, this is like what's happening. But Jeremiah was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And Zach was like, why you just can't own it? Why you just can't own it? Like, basically, just say what you about to do. Like, don't be lying saying you're going to the bathroom. I know you're about to get high. Like, you already here high. Like, come on now. You cannot get high for, like, 10 minutes. And you could be worried about your mama, but you still worried about doing this. Like, all this other stuff. So, eventually, Jeremiah leaves. Connie is talking to Zach. And Connie basically told Zach, like, that Jeremiah always been jealous of him ever since they known each other when they was kids. He was like, you have your lifestyle and your brother has his lifestyle. He's basically ashamed of how, like, his life turned out, and yours is okay. Like, you just came back from going to jail. You got the job at the airport. You basically come up and you did something great with your life, and Jeremiah is still Jeremiah doing what he's been doing before you even got locked up. So it's like, Zach sees the picture and it's just like, well, dang. So, fast forward, Fatima finally makes it home to Angela's house. She's in the bed asleep. Next thing you know, Angela comes into the room talking about she about to get some hanky-panky done. And Fatima was like, you look good. She's like, no, I'm not trying to look good. I'm trying to look irresistible. So she goes back to change. And while she's changing, Fatima calls Paul. And she basically tells Paul she wants to go for a run to clear her mind, because that's just what she does. And then Paul was like, yeah, so you can just use me again. She was just like, ugh. Eventually they showed up at the park. He brought his bike because he didn't want him to run. So they get to the park and they're talking. He's basically telling her like how he wants to, be with her and have sex with her and stuff. He's like, I literally done had sex with you like 12 times. Like, every time I think about you, that's just what my mind goes to. He was like, listen, I understand that you're gonna use me, but at the same time, I'm a man. And she was like, yeah, you're all these good things. And he was just like, well, I actually tried to date somebody, but all I could do is think about you. He basically told her, like, he just wants to get with her, and that's all it seems like, because, constantly when a man keeps talking about he wants to do that with you, 9 times out of 10, that's all he wants from you. He don't want nothing more, nothing less. That's just what it is, sex. So she was like, yeah, you're exhausting and stuff like that. He was like, you do all this, but at the same time, yeah, I can see why she wants he wants him for the company, but at the same time, she don't see why she really did all that stuff with him. It's just like, it's like up in the air. So eventually, they have a talk out, and she's talking about, yeah, let's just go. So she gets up and goes one way. He gets his bike and goes the other way. So Fatima decides to go to the house to talk to Zach. And she's sitting in her car. So Nathan already in Belinda's house when she pulls up to her house. She's like, what are you doing here? He was like, listen, you invited me here. She was like, yeah, 3 hours ago. So they're basically talking. And Nathan was like, so why did you do that with that profile? She was like, I did not create that profile. He was like, yes, you did create that profile. So basically, Nathan puts her in her check. Nathan puts Belinda in her check and was like, in her place rather. Like, why are you hating them so bad? Like, I kind of see where Nathan's coming from. He just wants the best from his boy, but at the same time, he's rooting for both Zach and Fatima to be together. And he was like, so what do you, like, you loving the whole Zach and Fatima thing? And he was like, nah, listen, that's my boy. Like, what you did was foul. And basically puts her in her place. Next, you know, they about to get it on. So they getting it on or whatever. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, Connie was like, she gotta get ready to go home to her kids and stuff like that. And he basically lent her his car, but she was like, and he was like, can you go check on my place? Because I know I left the door open with that because it was rushing. So meanwhile, Fatima's outside the house. She sees Deja pull up, and she immediately got out her car and got her phone and started recording. She was like, yeah, gotcha, behind. You need to drop this lawsuit. She was walking like all good and everything with a person. And she was like, oh, God, my neck. She literally put it on just like that. Oh, excuse me. And then Fatima and her were talking, and Jasmine, I'm calling her by her real name. Deja was like, you need to check your man. He was just here about an hour ago with some girl and some green hair, and I think he called her by the name of Connie. And Fatima was like, you better just drop that lawsuit. She was like, oh, you think I'm playing? Fatima was like, listen, I got you, and I'm gonna have my cousin show up to get you. She was like, ain't nobody care about no madam, like whatever. So eventually she went in her pocketbook, got out her phone, and showed Fatima pictures of Connie. And she was like, oh yeah, you need to check your man, check your nigga. Like, listen, just drop the lawsuit. So as they turn around from their little engagement, they see Connie coming out of Zach's house and his car's there, and they're like, whoa, what the heck just happened? Yeah. Oh, I missed the part. Angela went to go have a rendezvous with Sam. So as Fatima was leaving to go for her run, she sees Sam all in the kitchen. Next thing you know, Angela comes down and she's like, listen, I'm about to go for my run. You're going to have a little fun. She's like, all right, dib up, have some more. That part was just like, whoa. Sam is packing. Like, okay. Just by Fatima's facial expression, you already know. She was like, dang. Yeah. So this episode was interesting. It was a lot of, back and forth stuff. Oh, also, Connie had called Tony to come to the hospital to check on the boy, and then Tony went and called Nathan. So Nathan and Belinda was both on the way to the hospital. Yeah, just wanted to put that in because I know I'll be forgetting stuff. But yeah, this episode's interesting, so hope you guys enjoyed, and y'all stay tuned for the next one. Bye.